No. Okay, dear students, today's class is on randomized sorting algorithm. Today's class is on randomized sorting algorithms. So, in the design of the analysis of algorithms subject, we have one important technique, that is randomized sorting algorithms topic. See, what is a quicksort algorithm steps discussed in the previous class. Find a pivot item in the array. This item is the basis for comparison for a single row. Now, start a pointer, the left pointer at the first item in the array. In the array, we are starting a left pointer. Now, start a pointer, the right pointer at the last item in the array. So, we have left pointer and right pointer. Okay, we have start a pointer, the right pointer at the last item in the array. while the value at the left pointer in the array is less than the pivot value. Move the left pointer to the right. So we need to move the left pointer to the right, and the movement, that means to add, to point to the next element. Continue pointing to the elements. Suppose continue until the value at the left pointer is greater than or equal to the pivot value. Okay, while the value at the right pointer in the array is greater than the pivot, is greater than the pivot. Okay, in the quicksort algorithm, already you know the steps in the quicksort algorithm. So what is a randomized algorithm? Randomized algorithm ante enti? See here, a randomized algorithm is an algorithm that implies a degree of randomness as a part of logic. So randomness, already you studied in our probability and statistics. What is a random variable generation? So random variable generation, which generates random variables. So whatever value comes, that will be taken. Okay. So the algorithm typically uses uniformly random bits as an auxiliary input to guide its behavior in the hope of achieving good performance in the average case over all possible choices of random bits. So algorithm uses the random bits. We are using the random bits. as an auxiliary input. That means we are giving the input to the algorithm. In addition to input, we are giving the random bits also as an input to the algorithm to guide its behavior, how it behaves, this algorithm, in the hope of achieving good performance in the average case over all possible choices of random bits. That means we are using the random bits along with the input to the algorithm, and we will get the average case behavior. Since already you know, for an algorithm, we have average case, worst case, and best case. So when you consider random bits as an input, along with the actual input, then it is a average case behavior. So over all possible choices of random bits. So formally, the algorithm's performance will be a random variable determined by the random bits. So we are using the random bits. So either the running time or the output, both are random variables. So we are taking the random variables. So we have a Las Vegas algorithm. A Las Vegas algorithm is a randomized algorithm. Randomized algorithm that always gives correct results. That is, it always produces the correct result, or it informs about the failure. Okay, dear students, the randomized algorithm about this one. So in a randomized algorithm, formally the algorithm's performance will be a random variable determined by the random bits. So either by the running time or the output or both variables. Now see here, So one has to distinguish between algorithms that use the random input so that they always terminate with the correct answer. So when you consider the random input, so it should be algorithm should be terminated with the correct answer. See, one of the important basic criteria of an algorithm is it should terminate with a finite number of steps. So with the correct answer, but where the expected running time is finite. So Las Vegas algorithms, we have two types of algorithms in the randomized algorithms. One is Las Vegas algorithm, another one is Monte Carlo algorithm. So this one, Monte Carlo algorithm and Las Vegas algorithm. See this one, Las Vegas algorithms. Another one is Monte Carlo algorithm. So for example, in the quick start, the quick start, Las Vegas algorithm, for example, quick start, and algorithms which have a chance of producing an incorrect result. Monte Carlo algorithms, for example, the Monte Carlo algorithm are failed to produce a result either by signaling a failure or failing to terminate. So in some cases, probabilistic algorithms are the only practical means of solving a problem. So in common practice, randomized algorithms are approximated using a pseudo-random number generator in place of a true source of random bits. Such an implementation may deviate from the expected theoretical behavior. So it will be deviated, it will be differentiated. So as a motivating example, consider the problem of finding an A in the area of n elements. If there are n number of elements, now we want to find n element. An area of n greater than or equal to 2 elements in which half are A's and the other half are B's. That means we have some number of elements which are greater than equal to greater than or equal to 2 number. That means maybe 5 numbers, 6 numbers, like this, some number of elements are there in which half are A's and the other half are B's. Half of the elements are A's and half of the elements are B's. Find an A in the array. Now find where is A in the array. We give two versions of the algorithm. One is Las Vegas algorithm and the one is Monte Carlo algorithm. So we have two types of algorithms. So Las Vegas algorithm, finding a LV, that is array a comma n, begin repeat, randomly select one element out of n elements. Out of n elements, we are selecting the one element. So until A is found, that means until to receive A, we need to perform the random selection and we need to find one element out of the n number of elements. This algorithm succeeds with the probability 1. The number of iterations varies and can be arbitrarily large, but the expected number of iterations is given. So randomized sorting algorithms through algorithm, quicksort has an average case of O of n log n time on n elements. Its worst case time is order of n square. So on the other hand, it does not make use of any additional memory as does merge sort. So now compare, when you consider the quick sort and merge sort, in the quick sort, we are not using the any additional memory, whereas in the merge sort, we need some amount of additional memory for sorting the given elements, huge number of elements. When you consider the quick sort, its average time complexity is big O of n log n, whereas in the worst case time, it is O of n squared. When it occurs average case, when it occurs worst case, suppose when you want to sort in elements which are already sorted list is given to you, and you need to apply quick sort on that. Since all the elements are already sorted, now if you want to sort again, it will take worst case time, that is big O of n squared time. Whereas when you consider the random element, some number of elements are given which are not sorted, you want to apply quick sort on that, then the average time of quick sort is big O of n log n. So algorithm quick sort 2 of p comma q sorts the elements in A, p to q. So p to q elements, you want lower bound is p, upper bound is q. You want to sort all the elements in the given array A. Now stack is a stack of size 2 log n. Stack of size 2 log n. Now repeat while p less than q. Repeat while p less than q do. J equal to partition of A, P, Q plus 1. A is a array and P is the lower bound. Q plus 1, we have the upper bound. So when you consider this one, P less than Q, while P less than Q, now perform the partition, and J is the middle element. If J minus P less than Q minus J, then add J plus 1 to stack. Add Q is equals to J minus 1, add Q to stack. So we are maintaining here stack of size 2 log n. Else add P to stack, add of J minus 1, P equal to J plus 1, add J minus 1 to stack. So sort the smaller subfile. If stack is empty, then return. If there are no elements in the stack, you can return. So delete of Q and delete of P. Delete Q and P from stack. Okay. You need to repeat this one until the condition is false. Until the condition is false. So iterative version of the quicksort. This algorithm comes under the quicksort's iterative version. Already in the previous class, we discussed about the recursive version of quicksort. Now we discussed about the iterative version of quicksort. So already you check here. When I say iterative version, we are using the while loop, while p less than q. We are checking the condition. In the case of iterative version, we are using the while loop, repeat until loop. Like this, these loops are needed in the iterative version of quicksort. So additional memory does merge sort. In the merge sort, we are using additional memory, whereas in the quicksort, we are not using any additional memory. Just simply, this is a quicksort is a in place technique. There is no need of external memory. So a possible input on which quicksort displays worst case behavior is one in which the elements are in the sorted order. Elements are in the sorted order. In that case, we get the quicksort worst case behavior. In this case, the partition will be such that there will be only one element in one part and the rest of the elements will fall in the other part. So the performance of any divide and conquer algorithm will be good if the resultant subproblems are as evenly sized as possible. That means the resultant subproblems are evenly sized. In that case, we are considering this one. That one will be good case. Quicksort be modified so that it performs well on every input. So the answer is yes. Is the answer is yes. Is the technique of using the median of all three elements? That means we are taking the median of A of P, A of Q plus P by 2, that is middle element, and the A of Q, the solution. Unfortunately, because it is possible to construct inputs for which even this method will take omega of n square time. So it takes omega of n square time. That is why it is also not so good algorithm. In this, when you consider the middle elements or median of the given elements, the solution is the case of a randomizer. So we are using the randomizer in the randomizing quicksort algorithm. So randomly taking an element in the out of the list of elements. So pivot generally we are taking at the end or we are taking at the beginning. But in this case, in randomized algorithm, we may take pivot at any element in the list of elements, so that you will get the average case of quicksort. While sorting the array A of P to Q, instead of picking A of M, pick a random element from among A of P to A of Q as a partition element. So the resultant randomized algorithm R of quicksort, R quicksort is a randomized quicksort algorithm. Now check here the average computing times for two sorting algorithms on random inputs. So we have merge sort and quicksort. This one is also merge sort and quicksort. For this, what is the average computing times? Average computing times depending on the size of inputs. Suppose here input is 1000, merge sort 72.8 computing time, quicksort 36.6 computing time. Suppose in this case 2000 input, 6000 input. Just compare 1000 is the n value. Number of inputs are our input size is 1000. Then it take merge sort takes time 72.8. Quicksort takes time 36.6. Suppose here we check here 10,000 is the input. 10,000 is the input. If 10,000 is the input, if 10,000 is the input, then what is the merge sort value? 1073.6. What is the quicksort value? 6.25.2 milliseconds it will take. Now see this one, worst case computing times for two sorting algorithms and random inputs. Now we are taking the random inputs. In that case, what is the worst case computing time? Computing time for n is 1000, then merge sort takes 105.7 milliseconds, whereas quicksort takes 41.6 milliseconds. Suppose when you take 10,000 is the input size is increased 10 times, then the merge sort takes 1167.6 milliseconds, whereas quicksort takes 738.1 milliseconds. So the time for the 10,000 case, in the case of merge sort and quicksort, the average computing time and worst case computing times of two sorting algorithms when you compare, so not so much difference. So works on any input and output, runs on any input and runs on an expected O of n log n time, where the expectation is over the space of all possible outcomes for the randomizer. So the code for R quicksort is considered in this algorithm. or quicksort code. This is a Las Vegas algorithm since it will always output the correct answer. So Las Vegas algorithm always gives the correct output, whereas the Monte Carlo algorithm, which may be correct or maybe some difference. Every call to the randomizer random takes certain amount of time. If there are only very few elements to sort, very few elements to sort. So if there are only a very few elements to sort, the time taken by the randomizer may be comparable to the rest of the computation. So to be invoke randomizer only if q minus p greater than 5. If the value of q minus p is greater than 5, then we can invoke the randomizer. So 5 is not a number, magic number in the machine employed. So we can take any number. This seems to give the best results. In general, this number should be determined practically. That is after some experiments, we are determining the value of this q minus p greater than 5 or some other number. So quicksort or quicksort randomizer quicksort p to q sorts the elements a of p to a of q. Here p comma q means lower bound, p is the lower bound and q is the upper bound. So a of p to a of q which reside in the global array a of 1 to n into ascending order. So we are taking the ascending order. A of n plus 1 is considered to be defined and must be greater than or equal to all elements in A of 1 to n. If p less than q, then if q minus p greater than 5, then interchange. We are doing the interchange A random mod of q minus p plus 1 plus p p. J equal to partition of A p q plus 1. So J is the position of the partitioning element. So R quicksort p comma j minus 1, R quicksort j plus 1 comma q. So we are calling the first we are checking whether p less than q or not. That is upper bound and lower bound is p and upper bound is q. We are sorting the elements from A of p to A of q. So p is less than q or not. If p is less than q, then check the difference p and q, that is q minus p greater than 5 or not. Then if it is greater than 5, then interchange A comma random mode q minus p plus 1 plus p. So J equal to partition of A comma p comma q plus 1. So we are calling again quicksort algorithm, again calling the quicksort algorithm and the remaining elements. So we are dividing into two partitions. In the first partition, we are applying the quicksort R quicksort algorithm. In the second partition also, we are applying the R quicksort algorithm. So finally, we will get this one. So randomized quicksort algorithm. So the proof of the fact that R quicksort has an expected O of n log n time is the same as the proof of the average time of quicksort. So let A of n be the average time of R quicksort on any input of n elements, then the number of elements in the second part will be 0 to n minus 1, all with an equal probability of 1 by n. So recurrence relation for A of n will be. So what is the recurrence relation now? That is 1 by n sigma 1 less than or equal to k less than or equal to n. A of k minus 1 plus A of n minus k plus n plus 1. So hence its solution is, the solution of this recurrence relation is big O of n log n. So R quicksort and quicksort. Quicksort is a general algorithm. We are not using any randomization. R quicksort is a randomized quicksort algorithm. We are taking the random number as the pivot or some other number like this. So without employing the median of 3 element rule, we are not considering the median case. evaluated on some workstation. The times for the two algorithms in milliseconds averaged over 100 runs. So finally, we checked this by running these algorithms on milliseconds. What is the milliseconds time? What is the value of milliseconds time? For each n, the input considered was the sequence of numbers 1 to n. Input varies. Just see the table here. R-Quicksort performs much better than Quicksort. Quicksort are much more than the corresponding entries. So the reason is that Quicksort makes theta of n square comparisons on inputs that are already in sorted order. On random inputs, its average performance is very good. Very good. See here, n is the input size 1000, 2000, 3000, 4000, 5000. Different inputs we consider. Quicksort and R-Quicksort. Quicksort, if we take for 1000 input, it takes time 195.5 milliseconds. Whereas for 5000 input size, it takes time 4829. So R-Quicksort, when you compare, R-Quicksort takes for 1000 input size 9.4 time, for 2000 input size 21.0 time, for 5000 input size 52.8 milliseconds. So R-Quicksort takes more less time. That is a fast execution is faster comparing with Quicksort. So R-Quicksort takes only 52.8 milliseconds for the input size of 5000, whereas the Quicksort takes 4829 milliseconds for the input size of 5000. So comparison of Quicksort and R-Quicksort, this one. Now see, the performance of R-Quicksort can be improved in various ways. We could pick a small number of the elements in the array randomly and use the median of these elements as a partition element. Okay, this is about randomized Quicksort algorithm. Thank you, students. If any doubts, please call to me. Bye.